Everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the basic functions available with the Arduino IDE and some of the overview of Arduino IDE. So once you open the Arduino for the first time, you'll see these two definitions, a function definition I would say. The first is void setup and the other one is void loop. So here already comment is written here, like the code we want to execute one time, we need to put it in void setup function, and the things which you want to execute in finite number of times, we need to put it in a loop function. So as we started, just first let me get rid of this comment because I don't want it. So I'll delete this first comment and delete this second comment too. So the first function which I want to discuss is the digitalWrite function. So I'll write a digitalWrite, and if we want to call this function, we need to provide two parameters. The first parameter is the parameter where we want to give a pin number, where we want to give a logic. So here I need to give a valid number. For example, let's say I'm giving 13 here. So it just basically means I'll be providing one logic, I'll be giving a high or low voltage to this pin. So I'll write a pin number, and the other parameter which I need to pass is either 1 or 0. I can pass it here. That means I'll be giving a logic 0 or 1 to particular pin. So either I can write a high or 1, or I can write a 0, or I can write a low. The next function which we have is a delay function. Let's say if you want to execute an instruction like toggling the LED, we want to turn on the LED. That means we can do it by giving logic high or 1 depending on how we have connected this LED to an Arduino pin. So we want to generate a delay in between. So we have functions for that. So we'll write a delay, and inside that function we need to provide a number that for how many seconds you want this delay. So this delay argument takes in a millisecond. So if you write 1000 here, that means it will generate a delay of 1 second. So based on your requirement, you can give any number.
But what instead of generating delay in millisecond, we want to generate a delay in microseconds. So
also we have one more function called a delayMicrosecond. So here we can provide a delay in microsecond. So the function definition is delayMicroseconds, and inside that we need to provide a number of microsecond that we want as a delay. So this was the stuff was directly giving logic, but let's say if you want to read any Arduino pin, so how will we do that? So we have a particular set of functions for that, so which have a digitalRead. So we will be calling this function like digitalRead. We'll first write, and inside this parameter we'll write a number at what pin we will be reading the input. So let's say if you have connected a particular pin, let's say it's a 12, pin number 12 of Arduino, and we have connected it to ground, and if you try to read this function, this read function will return as a 0 because we have connected it to ground. Now if this pin is connected to VCC, and if you try to read using this digital read function, this will give me a logic 1. The other functions which are available with is pin mode, which is the basic things. Once any device we want to connect to microcontroller, this Arduino microcontroller, either we want to connect LED or switch, first we need to tell this IDE that I'll be working with this pin and declare this pin as an output or input based on a requirement. So first I will write this function pin mode. Inside this we have two parameters. The first one we need to pass is the at what pin you're talking about. That means if I am connecting LED to pin number 13, I'll write 13 here. The other parameter I need to tell is how I want this pin to be treated as. Either I want to treat it as an output or input. So I'll write output here if I'm connecting LED here. I'll write input here if I am connecting a switch there. And these are some basic functions which we have available with Arduino IDE. There are many more for analog, for serial communications, and for PWM, but LCD, keypad, but we'll discuss them in later once we came across this. So thanks guys for watching this tutorial.